Welcome to the Ozone. I'm Robin Tremingham of the Olderhood Group, and my guest today is Olderhood Chairman Bill Story. This is our continuing leadership series, and today's topic is the new mantra for leadership: listen, learn, and lead. Welcome, Bill.
Hi, Robin.
I'm not entirely sure that I know what this one's all about. What do you mean when you say new mantra of listen, learn, and lead?
Well, I think in leadership, in theory at least, we've always followed the principle that you do listen, and then you learn. You, the leader, you learn by different people's ideas or by your own mistakes, and that will then help you lead better, you would hope. I think over this past couple of years, there have been so many changes to the way we do business, not the least of which is working from home, doing meetings on a remote basis, etc. And I think that's probably shown leaders that where they don't really have that ability to have body language as much as they would in a physical meeting, they're forced into listening more to the members of the team who are all in different places. So I think this idea of better leadership comes from, or partially comes from, learning how to manage your team. And managing your team, one of the big parts of that is listening to your team. So where we may not have listened too much in the past, especially when we were in physical meetings, where we were all sitting in the same room, in the office, where some people, want to express their thoughts and feelings. Some people don't. Some people just sit there and basically take it, and then go back to their own desk and get on with it. But I think all of this, past couple of years has made us think more about trying to listen to our team. Now, it could be through frustration or, being stuck at home or whatever. But I think the listening exercise has gone up the scale dramatically over this past couple of years.
In the old days, we used to call this active listening, where not only did you give someone your full attention, but then you would respond in such a way to let them know that you'd heard, and you'd ask a clarifying question. I think you're telling me this. Is that what you mean? I think now, though, with people working remotely and also with all of the development projects that are going on virtually, where people are meeting and working together around the world who don't meet physically ever, it's just as important to listen for what it is that they're not saying. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, I think that's true, but particularly in the Zoom type of meeting, the remote meeting, as I say, that body language speech, if I can use that expression, isn't as obvious. It's not as prevalent. Whereas in a physical meeting, somebody just sort of, rolls their eyes or something like that, or shrugs their shoulders. That's speech. It's not coming out of the mouth. It's just coming through body language. So I think you can see that with the in-person meeting. So I think there's much more attention nowadays, particularly in the remote meetings, to listen to the speech, to listen to the words, so that you can get an idea of it. I mean, I think, as you say, traditional leadership, was that the team leader would decide on a course of action, and that was, frankly, that was the be all and end all. That was it. You're just going to go away, and any thoughts that you had as a team person, they were not encouraged to be brought out. I think perhaps that's changed. I think there is a better opportunity for team members to express an opinion.
Well, I think you're making an excellent point, because, the world is in a state of flux where businesses are having to pivot, overnight as circumstances change. I think it takes many minds to work out the solutions to these brand new situations that none of us have ever faced before. And it's a really great idea to develop your team so that when they have an idea, when they have a suggestion, that they actually do tell you what it is?
Well, yeah, and of course, you've got to keep in mind that sometimes the suggestion has already been thought of, just hadn't previously been communicated to the team, or it's a bad suggestion. You know, not every time when somebody opens their mouth is it going to be a good idea. There are times when you go, yeah, that's not going to work. And you as a team leader, hopefully you will have the experience to be able to listen. And that's the key issue, is to listen and say, yeah, we've tried that before, or we tried that a few years ago. You weren't on the team then. It's a good idea, but it doesn't work. And you can give the reasons why it doesn't work. So listening is not simply a case of listen and then make it happen. It's a case of listen, think, rethink, and then, you know, if it's a good idea or a good proposal, then you run with it. But otherwise, you know, if you don't listen, then you're not going to hear any of that kind of stuff. So the key is to listen.
So what you're implying then is that the learning part of your mantra comes from gathering everybody's thoughts and then evaluating and choosing from the best of the ideas that you've received.
Yes, you can evaluate yourself as a leader. You're right. You know, bring in all the ideas, and evaluate them as a leader on your own, or evaluate them within the team meeting. What does everyone else think about, you know, his suggestion or her idea? That's very healthy, so that everybody is involved, you know, with that kind of thing. I actually call it a sort of a, you know, communal range of decision. In other words, the community is going to decide. But as a leader, you must give the guidance to say, let's make sure we make the right decision. Don't let's make a different decision or do something different just because we seem to all kind of think it might be a nice idea. No, you can't do that. So the leader will make the final decision, but based on, as I say, this sort of communal range of decision making.
So what's your key message for everybody who watches this video?
The key message is, we used to call it the open door policy. And the open door policy was that regardless of what you were doing inside your office, your door was open. It didn't have to be physically open every time. But the open door policy was, my door is open, come in, talk to me, give me your ideas, tell me your thoughts, whatever. So I think the open door policy for the leader, the open door policy, be that, as it were, remotely on Zoom or whatever it may be, I think that's the thing. And that will help you to be able to listen to other people. Give them time, give them their place, give them the respect, get the information, and then do something with it. Or not. I mean, sometimes you just won't do anything. But it gives you the opportunity to hear more, to hear better, and hopefully to improve your own self as a leader.
I think that's great advice for everyone. You've been watching The Ozone. Join us again soon.